This is the best sports photography camera that's probably never been talked about in this context. When you see it, you're gonna be like, Corey, what the heck are you talking about? There's a lot of limitations to this camera, but I absolutely love it when it comes to sports photography. If this is your first time here, my name is Corey Cash. I've been a photographer and videographer for the past 9 years. And for the past 2 seasons, I've been Dylan Brooks' personal social media manager. So whether that's photography or videography that you see on his social media pages, that is mostly my work. This camera right here is my favorite sports photography camera. That is the Fujifilm X100 series, and mine specifically, I have the Fujifilm X100V. Now, before you turn this video off, I know, it's not a Sony, it's not a Canon, it's a fixed lens. I can't zoom in. This camera is very limiting, especially when it comes to sports, but that's why I absolutely love it. Here's the thing, with the Fujifilm X100, I am not chasing sharpness. Trust me, I get it. It comes out like it was shot in the 90s on the good old film type of cameras, but that is the reason I absolutely love it. One, I love film photography, and I feel like there's so much depth to those types of pictures. I feel like there's more story when I'm looking at film photography rather than some of the digital photography that I see. And also, I'm a type of person that I like to go against the grain. So right now in sports photography, everybody's shooting with a crazy DSLR. Everybody's getting sharp pictures. Everybody's color grading kind of similar in my opinion. And that's the exact reason that I absolutely love this camera, because I know no one's thinking about this camera when they think about sports photography. However, there are some nuances when it comes to my experience with this camera. This past season, I was able to sit courtside for some games, and because it's a non-detachable lens, I'm able to bring it in the arena. And because I'm able to bring it in the arena, I was taking some shots from my seat. I understand that not everyone has the privilege of sitting courtside, so these shots are gonna be better than someone that's using this camera in the 200 section, which I probably wouldn't use all the way up there. But let's say, warm-ups where you can kind of come down a lot closer, would definitely still recommend using this camera. And not even like a pro NBA game. If you're shooting a high school game or a college game where you can get closer access to the players, I would definitely shoot this with this camera, because again, like I said, the character to these pictures are, for me, they're my absolute favorite. It's the closest thing I can get to film without spending a ton on film rolls, because obviously film is not the norm anymore and rolls are super expensive, and to develop is super expensive as well. So this substitutes that. I'm a storyteller and stories are never perfect, and I feel like that this is just the perfect match to tell a story when it comes to sports. It does have a lot of limitations, especially when it comes to sports photography. I'm not saying this is a professional sports camera by any means. The camera is so small, it's less threatening when you bring it around. Sometimes when I bring my bigger setups for photography or videography, I could tell people not get uncomfortable, but they're just, they take notice to my camera gear. And some people, they ask questions, and some people, who knows, actually, you know what, maybe they feel uncomfortable, but it's less intimidating when you bring this little camera around. One of my favorite photos so far is shooting this Luka Doncic photo. There's just something about this that I absolutely love. This game, I had the privilege to sit courtside, and man, he was cooking this game. And just the way, his stance is after he let that shot go. You see the ref in the front there signaling that's a three-pointer. You see the ball in the air. You see Ryan Dunn looking back like, oh shoot, like, just saying like, oh shoot, is this guy gonna really hit that shot? And he did hit this shot actually, and it's just one of my favorite photos because it was captured in the essence of you know, what Luka was feeling in that moment, because he got hot at this point. Another photo that I love is this photo of Dylan. He is shooting at the practice facility. I think it was a day before a playoff game or a big game, and I was just experimenting with the camera. I decided to shoot at, I think, shutter 1/15 so I can get that blurry motion. I just love the imperfection of this photo. So KD has been my favorite player since he's went to Texas. And I don't know, every time he matches up with Dylan, they get the jarring and they try to go at it. And I don't know, I just love watching them two play because they really compete, because them two really love the game of basketball. So this shot I was able to get over KD over DB was dope, even though like DB's my boy and stuff. But this photo right here, when KD's mid-form, or sorry, he's in form shooting the ball, I absolutely love this photo. This is more personal because these two are like my favorite basketball players, and obviously Dylan's my actual friend. So this was this is gonna be a nostalgic photo for me. And my last photo here is Dylan and Jalen Green hugging each other, because this is the moment where they just I forgot, who did they beat? They beat oh yeah, they beat the Warriors to get to the playoffs. Especially for them two, they were in Houston last season, and they got eliminated by the Warriors in a 7-game series, and those two didn't play particularly how they wanted to play. So just them two kind of getting their get back in that particular moment was a very like fun moment to catch on the camera. And again, this is like one of my personal favorite photos when it comes to this Fujifilm X100V. So the great thing about these Fuji cameras is they have something called recipes, and they're like, how do I explain it? For those that never use a Fujifilm camera, they're like presets that replicate old film. So I use a Kodak recipe, and I'll leave the the settings on the screen here so you can see it. However, I never use them straight out of the camera. I can take them to my Lightroom on my phone because it has a Bluetooth connection, which I can upload real fast and set my preset, and then I will just edit them and tweak them just a bit, and then put them online, or save them in my camera roll. I'll show you my Lightroom process on how I edit a photo and how quick it takes me. Like, it's really just that quick. And that's another thing why I absolutely love these cameras, because I'm able to take a picture and pump them out almost immediately. So let me just go through my camera roll here. This photo of Scotty Barnes walking out the gym, I think that he just took a loss here. So this is what it looked like coming out of the camera, and personally for me it's a little bit too dark right now, so I like to just keep it, I just press auto literally, and then I'll go to one of my film presets that I have here, and I have all these type of film emulations that I got years ago from a site called Visco. I don't even think that site sells these anymore, but I go down to like I believe that's for Fujifilm, and I will select just a film preset that I like, and it's normally these Fuji 100C type look, or C+, depending if I want that green and more contrast. For me, that looks fire to me. Yeah. Or if I want a more even faded grainy looks, or looks more film like, I like that too. Yeah, see, like, I love film, so the more faded it looks for me, I'm cool, super cool. So maybe I'll just do a quick mask right quick, just to select the subject. I might just brighten them up just a little bit. Yeah, just a tad, just a touch. Boom, and there we go. That's my photo right there. And here's my honest pros and cons about this Fujifilm X100V. had to cut this video because I wanted to go a little bit more in depth on the cons of this camera because I do not want to misguide you. Number 1, the autofocus. This camera isn't built for fast moving athletes. Sony, Canon, Nikon, they're in a completely different realm with their autofocus, and by no means I want this camera to be compared to those at all. If you're taking shots of explosive movement, there is a chance that you will miss it because of the autofocus system just isn't the best when it comes to sports. Number 2, the fixed 35mm lens. Obviously, like I said before, if you're in Road 200, then this camera becomes almost unusable for sports. You do have to be physically close, which isn't always possible. Number 3, no image stabilization. Shooting in low light gyms typically is where this camera suffers unless you're using the flash. And if you're not shooting with IBIS, then you are at. Number 3, the battery life. I haven't tested this for a whole game because I do not shoot photography for whole games, and I don't know if this camera can last a whole game of consistent, constant shooting. Next is the buffer. This camera doesn't have continuous shooting or that burst mode in your Sony like your Sony or Canon. So when you're shooting sports, normally with your newer cameras, you get that, so you will not miss the shot. This is just a single shot. That's all you get. And actually, to be honest, that is the reason why I absolutely love this camera, because it tests my creativity. It keeps my mind sharp because I'm always thinking of a shot like fractions of a second before it happens. So when I get it, I'm like super stoked about it. And the last one is the reach. I talked about it 2 times before. I just want to emphasize that if you are far, this camera will be hard to use. But this is also a disclaimer. This is not a professional sports photography camera by any means. It's just what I like using best when shooting sports. If you were to go apply for a job and you let them know that you have the Fuji X100V as your go-to camera, you will not get the job. So that's all I have for you today. If you like this video or like my previous videos, please like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you guys want to hear. And when it comes to sports videography and you don't know which frame rate is the best one to shoot at, definitely watch this video here.